here. Hold on for a second. Let me go make sure I can hear sound. Alright. Alright. Let me cut that the fuck down. Alright, where is the... Okay. Yeah. Copy. Let me log back on. Hold on one second. Let me pin it. Alright. I have to pin that. Alright, I'm gonna wait a few minutes because I know that notification do not be going out sometimes. Alright. Donation readings, alright. Donation readings are available. If you want a $5 general, they are available. Alright. It doesn't matter how much, $2, $3. Alright, I'm just going off a donation. I'm gonna bless a few people and then I'm going to jump off. I'm going to bless 2 people and then I'm going to jump off. So I'm going to start in the next... I'm going to start in the next 5 minutes. All right, what is going on? All right, donation reads tonight. All right, I'm going to bless a few people. All right, it doesn't matter how small or how big. All right, even if it's $3 or $2, it doesn't matter. All right, if you are wanting a reading, please let me know. All right, if you are wanting a reading, please let me know. All right, before I begin. All right, because after the read, I am not doing any reads. All right. So if you are wanting a donation read, please let me know. I'm gonna wait like 5 minutes. All right. If you are wanting one. All right. It doesn't matter how much. I'm still gonna give you a full read off of it. All right. General reads are available. Love reads are available. Or if you want a general read, which includes all of that as well, that is available. That is available. All right, 2 people watching on YouTube now and no likes. All right, 2 people stalking. 2 people stalking. All right, when you come into the live, please like the live, tap the screen. What's going on? All right, donation reads are available at this time. All right, before I get started, I just wanted to see if anybody want any reads before I start. Alright, after this read, I will not be doing any reads. Alright, so if you're wanting a read, donation reads are available. I'm sorry, donation reads are available before, after the read. Alright, on the spot reads are $10. Love reads are, love reads are 10. On the spot is 15. Alright, right now is donation. So if you are interested in a donation read, alright, now is your time. Now is your time. Alright, 6 people watching, 1 person liking, 5 people stalking. What's going on, y'all? I'm not asking you if you have any money. These are people who, I'm talking to the people who normally get reads. If you don't get reads and you don't have any money, you don't have to type in, you don't have no money. Alright, I'm going to get started in 3 minutes. Let's see here. Alright, if you don't have any money, at least you can do is like the live. Alright. That is the least that you can do. Alright, let's see. But of course, you're not going to do that because you're stalkers. And stalkers don't do that. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Now, actually, I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on TikTok. Alright, it shows us 4 people on YouTube. It goes up and down. It's never a true number. And people watch incognito. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Alright, and plus these videos are recorded. Alright, like I said, this is a personal video, so this is actually someone's video. So this is already a paid reading. Alright, so let's get started. Let's get started. Alright, lust is here. Somebody could have learned a lesson from chasing lust. Yeah, the devil is here. Alright, so somebody learned a lesson. Somebody realized that you were not on the same page when it came to the way that someone lived their life, right? This was a divine masculine. This was a masculine. Alright? You and this person could have lived similar lives in the past lifetime. Or just in the past, but you elevated. So because you elevated, this masculine had to elevate it in order to be near you. See, when you was on the same frequency, it was cool. Alright, but this person know that you're going to be celebrating and they know they can't celebrate with you unless they make some sort of changes. Alright, and this person could have been juggling the situation. Alright, being in karmic energy when it comes to the divine feminine. Alright, this person had to surrender and let go and learn to love themselves. Alright, this person is obsessed with coming your way. Alright, this person is obsessed with making things right. It's not on no crazy shit. This person is just really focused. Alright, new beginnings is here. This person wants a new beginning, love, emotional clarity, spiritual awakening. This person has had a spiritual awakening. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what you are. I look at spirits. Alright, wisdom, objectivity here, sharpness, discernment, and independence. Alright, investment, long-term vision. Somebody sees that you are super focused. Alright, and somebody sees that you are just moving forward. You're not really needing anybody. Alright, you're not crying about shit. Alright, departure, moving on, letting go, personal growth. You've let go a lot of people and you didn't look back. Somebody is noticing that. Somebody is getting ready to do the same thing. Somebody is getting ready to do the same thing. Whoever this person is that's coming towards you. All right, new beginnings, spontaneity. All right, freedom, optimistic, very unbothered. All right, manifest. Somebody is manifesting everything that they want. All right, there's a love offer here on the table. All right, movement, action, rapid change, travel, and communication is here. Somebody is surprised, or you're getting ready to be surprised about a twin flame situation. All right, somebody definitely chose you over someone. Somebody wants to collaborate and work with you. Somebody trusts you. This is why they want to work with you. This person could have came into some money, and this person only trusts you for this type of money. All right, because they know they're not in competition with you. All right, and you're not close to their family because they ain't shit neither. All right, so this person's past person could have been close to this masculine's family. All right, children is here. All right, it could have been some sort of somebody was stopping some sort of beginning, had somebody in inner conflict. All right, this is a third party. This could have been, this is a family. All right, these people were partnering up, doing divination in a home. Somebody was doing a lot of spell work, manipulation. Somebody was doing heavy magic. All right, anxiety, nightmares, depression, worries, fears. Somebody is going through some sort of emotional pain at this time because they're seeing that there's a masculine that's protected from this voodoo that they was doing. So they see that they can't attack divine feminine, and then they see that they cannot attack divine masculine. So they know what's coming for them. All right, intuition, secrets, mystery, inner wisdom, thoughts. All right, they thinking about your gift. They thinking about like who the fuck is you protected by type energy, happiness, family life, joy, harmony. These people are so fucking concerned. All right, because you're moving on in this relationship. All of this false narrative, all of this talking bad and slandering your name didn't stop shit. Nobody, the person, okay, it's like you have somebody from the past slandering your name. So will nobody talk to you? But your person just came out of something like that too. And they don't know your past person. So they not, it's like those two worlds don't even fucking mix. So it's like everybody's getting a clean slate. So it's like the shit people were doing, it didn't stop shit. It didn't stop shit. Change is here. But everybody is saying that the person who was spreading all those lies, see, that all them projections and shit, that shit backfired. So the things that they said, they're wearing that shit on their face. Inheritance, tradition, legacy, material wealth, financial security, vitality, all right, positivity, joy, single, sexy, and successful courthouse masculine here. All right, somebody try to steal something from a masculine work effort. Yes, something deceptive, strategy. Somebody was stealing something so a masculine couldn't move forward, so a masculine couldn't have an awakening, so he couldn't end the situation. All right, they didn't want this masculine confident. They didn't want this masculine in leadership position. All right, well, this masculine ancestors had to step in. Mm. Feeling trapped. All right, somebody wanted to destroy a person. All right, so that they could rely on them. This person was doing spell work to abuse this person. All right, leadership, vision, entrepreneurship, passion, confidence. You gain some sort of confidence. You gaining confidence is doing something to a feminine energy. This could be a baby mother, a mother. All right, this person can't control you anymore. You're gaining victory over this person. All right, yeah, you're putting a complete end and distance when it comes to this person. Mm. This community see that you fucking healing. All right, from a lot, if somebody's going through loss, grief, disappointment, regret, and mad as a bitch. All right, because expectations when it comes to a childhood friend, nostalgic innocence, generosity. Right, so this could be somebody that you know from the past. This person is coming to share their wealth with you. All right, this person could have broke your heart and left you out in the cold. But this person left their entire family out in the cold to come towards you. All right, so this person is taking some sort of chance. Romance, charm, creativity, emotional sensibility. This person is taking a chance. Damn, it's a fire ass read. Yeah, achievement. This person feel like ain't shit getting in the way. Nothing is getting in the way. All right. Hierophant, and they feel like they know it too. All right. Skill development, apprenticeship, diligent, hard work, craftsmanship. I feel like this person is moving towards you, and they don't see all the like it's shit is going smooth. All right. When they were doing other shit, they were running into hiccups. All right. So they are noticing that if they go in the right direction, spirit will help them. Spirit will help them when you just let go and you let God. That's what this person had to let go. This person had a control issue. This person wanted to control everything. I write hermit mode. This person had to go within and realize some things. I write about responsibilities, burdens, hard work, achievements, and efforts. I write this person was saying that people were putting their burdens on him. Balance. This person is balancing something out though. All right, this person is no longer feeling like they're in imprisonment. All right, somebody is on their way to you. A nice guy. This person wants to recover something. All right, this person been praying heavy to achieve something. You got this person. It's like they kind of cold. Like they on a mission type energy. All right, stability is here. Financial stability. What does got to do with divine feminine? This is part of your divinity. Divinity popped out. What does this got to do with divine feminine? This person is rushing in, hasty. They don't give a fuck. Meaning they're not planning. They're just gonna pop up type energy. Oh, that came out in the other cards. All right, hey, so they gonna come in this hasty energy. It's gonna be some pop up energy. All right, financial stability. This person is popping up with something though. Something you can't resist. All right, for I mean, depending on who this read is for, it's a lot of people going through divorces and things like that. So this person could be popping up with paperwork. It could be separation paperwork, or it could be anything. A job somewhere fuck else, and this person wants you to come through. Buzz spell is here. All right. You and this person both are under some sort of. I feel like it's a some sort of spell that was put around you. All right, that was supposed to activate at a certain time. All right, and like when the love spell means to me as if this person can't let go. All right, this person don't want to. Like this person is invested. They don't see shit but you. Type energy, confusion. All right, somebody is confused about how you got all this money. You got this emperor, and they feel like you got it super fast. So I feel like whatever you're manifesting, somebody is feeling like you got that shit super fast. But they don't know all of the hard work you had to put in the pathway. See, you made this shit look easy. All right, emotional maturity, occupation, nurturing, practicality, abundance, generosity, sensuality. All right, somebody know you solid. This divine masculine know that you're solid. All right, this person knows that you're not gonna place burdens on them. You're not gonna call on them for every little fucking thing. All right, I done had a couple conversations about that shit today. All right, even when you in a relationship, what's going on? Even when you in a relationship, you should always like calling your other party should not be the first thing. Like first of all, call on God and figure that shit out yourself. And then if you can't just figure it out, if you didn't exhausted all possibilities of getting help from somewhere else, then call. But your walk is your fucking walk. That motherfucker gotta walk too. Helpmates, not motherfucking. I do fucking everything that you. I do everything, so you ain't gotta do absolutely the fuck nothing. You still got a path to be on. Everybody got their own path. You just come together for one purpose. All right, somebody could be feeling burnt out at this time. All right, exploration. Somebody getting ready to go somewhere. Commitment is here. And then rest. Somebody finna get ready to go on vacation. All right, donation readings at this time. All right, $2, $3, $5. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to stand. All right, if you are interested in a read, I'm still gonna give you a full read regardless. All right, no matter what you're saying. So if you are interested, I'm only on here for a little while longer. All right, let's see. These cards are all upside down. All right, somebody sees you as the boss. Somebody doing some spell work. I mean, it don't matter, but you know, Spirit wants you to know destiny. It's a part of your destiny to have everything you want moving forward. All right, somebody finna be in the hospital. Somebody finna be in the hospital. Somebody finna be in the hospital. All right, does anybody want to read? All right, let's see. All right, let's see. All right, what's going on? Donation reads. Donation reads. All right, donation reads and get a full mini. All right. All right, first feeling. Something about your first instinct. All right, held the truth before fear got involved. So I'm keep hearing your first plan, but something fear could have got involved. You could have not trusted someone. All right, you didn't want to end up in the same situation. You don't want to end up in the same situation. But this time, there's nowhere that you can. All right, Pharaoh spirit, lead. I lead my life with confidence and wisdom and authority. All right, this talks about being called to lead, not to follow. Leadership, bold decision, self-respect, and standing firm in your truth and stepping down. Oh, and stepping. What does it say? Oh, and stop doubting your right to take your place. All right, stop doubting your right to take your place for somebody else to take your place. What is going on? If you are interested in a read, they are, I would say, invitation only. Somebody could get some sort of invite. All right, and invitation only. I see water. All right, so this could be a resort of some sort. All right, or you could be on some sort of trip. Ancestral wealth popped out. Prosperity flows through the bloodline in my body. All right, abundance, stability, success, inheritance, energy. All right, breaking poverty patterns. All right, wealth is not separate from spirituality. All right, it could be sacred too. All right, and divine beauty. I am sacred, radiant, and worthy. All right, let's see. All right, is anybody wanting a read? Is anybody wanting a read? Anybody want a $3 general read?
What does this say?
$3 general read.
What was it? ERIPNLX. Bro. It's, oh my gosh, I knew that. It's that ginger. Look the other way. Good. Why would you write that?
You all into the game, aren't you? All right, does anybody, nobody wants to read? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I will see you guys later.